I like the fact they worked an impact wrench into the opening.
I didn't hear it. Oh, is that right?
Oh, that's kind of what it sounded like to me.
Where they put tires on with?
Yes, and many other things that go on in the mechanics bay.
Anything like the drag?
What is the drag?
I was just hearing about it for the first time, just as the mics got hot.
Oh, the drag, yeah. I was thinking mechanics. I was thinking like a drag strip or something.
I see.
I was saying, and hi, welcome to Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew. Donny Osmond's coming in here tonight. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-1911 or something like that. I was saying to producer Ann, we had our guest in last night from Urban Legend. And we had like half the cast of Urban Legend in there. And Ann was talking about how hot Tara was. And I was agreeing. And I said to Ann, I think she was hot for me.
Kiss my ass, Adam.
And Fiona. And Ann said, how do you know? And I said, she gave me the drag. And I've said it before. Guys, this is how... Here's how you know if a woman likes you. Unless they're really loaded, in which case, well, they like you anyway. But... they will not, women don't like touching guys that they don't like. You know, they will not hug you, they'll not kiss you on the cheek, they'll not extend their hand, and they certainly won't, like if you tell a joke, they won't slap their hand on your back or put their hand on your knee and shake it. If a woman does any of that, are you ticklish? Do you got bee's knees? Do you do, any excuse to tickle you, grab you, whatever it is, even if it's like fixing the collar on your shirt, it means she's kind of into you. Because when a woman is into you, she looks for an excuse to touch you. Or you could have a banana peel hanging off your forehead and she wouldn't say anything or touch it. If she did, she'd get like a stick, like a pool cue, and remove it from your head. But if they're doing a little too much touching, and all you 16-year-olds that are out there trying to figure out whether you should ask that chick out or not, this is how you know.
If the hand drags as she walks away.
When you hug them, if she then pulls her hand off and removes it sort of clinically from your back, she's not interested. But if she drags her hand along your shoulder, along your arm as you're moving away...
it's a lingering.
Right.
A lingering touch.
This girl must have personality disorder. I never met her, but she's into you already.
It's a little extra touching.
There's a flaw there.
That's all.
There's a flaw.
I'm just saying I got the drag.
I'm just saying.
That's all.
That's all right.
Well, she said it on the air.
Oh, she did?
She was saying how cute you were.
Well, there you go. And she was a little nutty.
Oh,
I was kind of into that.
I'm saying.
Oh, that'd be good sex with that Tara. Tell you, because she's just nutty enough. Too nutty, you can't have sex because you should be institutionalized. You can't get them out of the jacket, so on and so forth. You know, they have the restraints on, but just a little nutty. That's when the good loving comes. All right, so go see that Urban Legend. Drew?
Yeah.
We didn't miss you. Were you here last night?
I didn't miss you either.
Oh, great.
I can't remember.
We had, Dr. Bruce did a good job, and we had such a lively bunch of young kids in here from the Urban Legend that was just a circus. All right, you know what Dr. Bruce does? I tell Dr. Bruce, hey, Bruce, go ahead and read the screen and write the call number down. And I'll go ahead and pick it off, the number you write on the board, just like you do, Drew. He waits till I pick the call, and then he writes the number down on the board. Like, so I can have a reference, you know. I like to keep track, you know. What do I go? Do I go 2, 4, 7? You know what I mean, Drew?
Right.
Leah.
Yes?
You're 36.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, my friend thought that it would be a good thing for you guys to get to wager on.
Why don't you tell us what your question is?
It was you know, the thing that was weird is I looked up the screen, I saw 36 years old, and I was hearing 14 and immediately it went, but I thought I'd let her talk a little bit.
The whole point of wagering is...
we have to instigate the wagering.
Right.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry. I haven't listened to your show before.
Oh,
I know something happened to you.
It's no fun. It's like when I recommend that people give me a trophy.
What is happening with you, Leah?
Well, I'm 36, and I've never had a consensual sex experience.
You mean you've been raped only?
Yes.
How many times?
Once when I was 18.
Is that when it started?
No.
How old were you when it started?
I was abused by my uncle when I was younger.
How old?
From about 6 to age 14.
Okay, so it's really all about that. Whatever came next is all just a reflection of what Uncle Joe, whatever the hell his name is, set you
You're
up
thinking
for.
of Petticoat Junction.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm convinced from doing this show that if you can keep prying hands away from your young girl until she's 14, she'll then have zero chance of ever being raped or molested after that point. I know it's possible.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, do we ever talk to someone who was raped at 18 for the first time?
No. Well, not on this show.
Not on this show. Why, do we do a cooking show that that I'm not aware of? Leah?
What?
So your uncle did this to you,
Yeah.
and then you got raped when you're 18,
Yeah.
and then one other time?
Yeah, my sister, my older sister.
She raped you?
Well, I don't know what the equivalent is. I don't know if there's a word for this.
Well, we'll just call it rape since we haven't made one
Victimized
up.
you. Yeah.
When did she do that? How old were you?
From about 3 or 4 until I was about 8.
Age 3 to 8? God knows what was happening to your sister. You got to understand that, Leah, that some adult had to be getting on your sister, too.
You may hate your sister, but, oh, man, something happened to her.
And she, I'm sure, is having quite a life herself right now.
I was wondering if maybe my uncle had
Yes.
done something.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Count on it.
Count on it, because your sister wouldn't have done that to you. You understand?
Unless an adult did something to her.
How old's your sister? How much older is she than you?
3 years older than me.
Yeah. There's no reason an 11-year-old hops on their 8-year-old sibling.
Lee, have you ever been in a psychiatric hospital?
Yeah.
So you've had treatment, right?
Well, I just started treatment 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was, fine until I got mugged.
All right.
And then...
You weren't
for some
fine, though.
reason-
You weren't fine, Lee. I mean, you've had all kinds of horrible atrocities.
What's
that you lived through.
what's going on with your sister, just out of curiosity?
What's her life like?
Well, she got divorced, and she's married to a third-grade teacher, and she has 2 of her own children, and I've seen her doing what she did to me, at least emotionally, to her daughter.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she's in
Guess
trouble.
what that third grade teacher's up to?
How old is...
Adam?
Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm working on a bomb in my house right now that is going to wipe out the human race. I really am. And just me, you, and Adrian Barbeau are going to be left to repopulate the world. We have we're going to have a bunch of genius mechanical doctors with huge breasts running around. All right, Leah, listen to me, sweet pea. Your friend who told you to call in, we're going to bet on you. It seems it seems a little cruel.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of friend this is. Oh, sweetheart, listen.
Just stay with the treatment.
Stay with the treatment.
Don't worry about having sexual relations right now. That's a long way off for that to be a gratifying experience for you. Worry about taking care of yourself, keeping stable, trying to keep a job, keeping close friends, and trying to develop intimacies on that level.
Hey, Drew.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking? I wanted to. I was telling my girlfriend the other day. When I have a kid, I want to put a chip in them.
Yeah.
Like they put chips in your pets.
In their tooth or something? So you can tag them?
Well, she said that, but she said in their tooth. But I said, but you lose your teeth. The tag could, the tooth fairy'd come by and steal the chip. What I'm saying is you can get chips for your pets.
Yeah.
I think it's only like $50 or something.
You get them for your kids.
You can?
Yeah. You mean identification chips?
I'm talking about a beacon.
Monitoring chips.
I'm talking about a homing beacon.
Yeah, maybe I'm going to do that next week.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
We wanted to invent homing clothing that they could wear.
But listen, with your dog, and somebody call me and tell me how this works, you can put a little chip in your dog, and I think it's so you can find your dog.
I thought it was an identification chip.
Oh, how's that work then?
That if they find the dog or something, like they can identify the information as in this little microchip of some type.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
But I think a low jack for kids and dogs is an appropriate thing.
Yeah.
Just activate it when they're lost. That's all.
How far away are we from this?
We need
you know
to
what I
start it. I need it for my kids now.
I mean, you could
Immediately.
pop a little earring on them or something, right?
Yeah, immediately.
Why not? And one that delivers a mild electrical shock,
Hey,
unless they get out, they get out of line.
It's a great business because I would go out and purchase it this minute if we're available.
Well, they wouldn't be open at this hour. Colin,
Hi.
you're 21.
Yep.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing. I just had a little comment on, you're always wondering how the men sense the victim.
Yeah, we just heard about one of them.
Yeah, I heard too. Well, I just have a little idea on it.
All right.
And it's just a woman had called in and said she was a secretary. And basically, once she was talking to clients for a little while.
Yes, I remember her.
Right, tried to have phone sex with her.
Right. That was a couple weeks ago. We kind of got in an argument about it. What's going on with this phone?
Yeah, it sounds like we're in a cave.
Does it?
Yowza, yowza, yowza. It just drives me insane.
All right, well,
it's like some sort of carnival barker or something.
Let's have her give the theory. Colin, give your theory. We're not going to talk. Go.
Okay, the theory is they test a little bit and say something mildly inappropriate. She giggles because she's nervous rather than telling them right off the bat that that's inappropriate. And so it's just kind of like a little stepping stone. It keeps going further and further, and I'm sure it could work with date rape situations as well.
Yeah.
I think that's something like that. I think that's right.
No, that's what... Stop, you listener, stop regurgitating my brilliance and throwing it back in my face. This is what I said when we were talking to this person.
Yeah.
They feel it out. Where 90% of women would hang up if a guy they didn't know called them up and said, I can smell your perfume through the phone.
Right.
They'd say, hey, F you, and they'd hang up.
Yeah.
They go, what do you mean? You can't smell my perfume. And they're hooked. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the same way salesmen work.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they know what house they're going to. They just knock on the door.
Yeah.
And unless the guy slams it in their face immediately, they're in. Yeah. They're selling a vegetarian a side of beef right at the front door. Scott.
Scott?
Yes?
What's going on?
Nothing much. I was just wondering about, I had a question. My girlfriend's mother, she's my fiance actually. She's supposed to be my mother-in-law in about 2 months. And...
Hey, Scott?
Yeah?
What's going on in the background there?
It's probably, hold on, let me get these guys out of my room.
Oh.
All right.
Punishment.
Well, now it's punishment. Time out for Scott. Listen, everybody. Treat your kids like I treat the listeners, except for with a smidgen more respect. It works every time. Scott will be very apologetic when we get back to him in a half hour. This is a national show. I don't want to hear TVs in the background. I don't want a Herbalife meeting going on back there. When you call up, be on your best phone and be in a place where we can hear you. People call up, they got the stereo blasting, the TV going in the background. I'll not stand for it. And I know Drew won't either. Right, Drew?
Correct.
Mike?
Yeah.
You're 25. What's going on?
Hey, my question's for Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
I've had, he told me it was urethritis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I went there twice. First 2 times he gave me cultures. So I thought it might have been the clap. And they came back, they were negative, and he told me, well, when he was younger, he had the same thing, but they didn't know what it was at the time. Well, about a month and a half ago, it came back, and it's been back ever since. I have discharges. I've been on medication, and I'm wondering...
What kind of discharge you have?
Basically, like the clap. I mean, that's what he thought.
You have a pussy discharge.
Yes.
It's rarely minty.
Does it hurt when you pee?
Not anymore, it really doesn't.
But you had a lot of pain with urination.
When it first came on, yeah.
But now it's just discharge.
Yeah, now it's just discharge.
Hey, Drew,
sure
what's the clap? I thought the clap was gonorrhea.
Yeah, it's an old term.
Doesn't it cover a few?
Yeah, listen, it's sort of a non-meaningful term because there's lots of different things that cause a similar syndrome. Gonorrhea being basically what people were talking about in those days.
You got the clap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked it when we had nice names for serious infections. Go ahead, Mike.
Are you sure it's pus? They looked at it under the microscope?
No, but he, like I said, he took a...
Could it be semen or sperm?
That's what I'm wondering. I don't know. I mean, what can this be caused from?
It needs. I think you should see a urologist. It needs more evaluation to make sure that it's not something mechanical going on. But I need to know what the antibiotic is he's taking.
All right.
What are you taking? What medicine are you taking?
I don't remember. I mean, I haven't been back since the third time.
Jackass, you see.
All right. Well,
Well, Drew, here's what happened in there for you guys who are wondering why Drew and I raise our voice at each other. I have this hold button, and what I do is I put the people on hold after a couple of minutes of the call, and then what we do is we tail out uninterrupted and go to the next call. Otherwise, they'll keep going, but wait, I have another question. Now, I put the hold button when I feel the call's over. Once in a while, I press it prematurely, and Drew feels like he needs more information. Other times, he freaks out when I push the hold button, even though it is he that has to do the talking and does not need the caller, as if I'd hung up on them. But they can still clearly hear him. So I don't know why you react to that. So that's what I thought you were doing.
because I need more information, even though he doesn't have it.
He doesn't have it.
All right, but listen,
I know when a caller's got information.
These things can be gonorrhea, they can be chlamydia, they can be non-gonococcal urethritis. They're very common. 3 million young people, teenagers, are going to get sexually transmitted diseases, and it can be treated basically 3 ways. One is with a medication called azithromycin or Zithromax, which very nicely covers chlamydia. Another is a ceftriaxone or Rocephin, which is for gonorrhea and resistant gonorrheas. Or a couple-week course of doxycycline or vabromycin, which also covers syphilis. And it sort of sounds like what you ought to be on, an extended course, because there may be a prostate infection, epididymal infection. There may be some deeper seated bacteria going on here.
My urethra's starting to hurt now, so let's knock it off. So I did Lisa yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And I think it aired today. As a matter of fact, I know it did. I just didn't happen to watch.
I didn't either. Let's see if anybody saw it.
I had a few people tell me they saw it, and I didn't know what time it came on. I didn't think it came on at 9 a.m.
Oh.
Did it always come on at 9 a.m.?
We may have been. No, it wasn't. We weren't on the Donny briefing today.
No.
That would have been weird.
Listen, for all you people that think I'm some kind of prima donna who's self-obsessed or obsessed with my own image, what have you, I want you to know that I thought I was going to be on Donny Marie yesterday at 9 o'clock. Is that true, Drew?
Yeah.
I woke up at 9:30. I looked at the clock. I looked at the TV. I realized that we were on last, and I would probably be on in about 8 minutes. Went back to sleep.
Yeah,
I got to prioritize. And I knew I was on Lisa today, but I didn't know what time. But anyway, here's the thing that was funny about Lisa. I was on there with the cast of characters, the panel, and we're talking about, guess what, Clinton.
We never watch ourselves ever on anything.
No, I will sometimes, but we
don't watch our own television show. Our own show we don't watch.
I haven't seen the last 5 things. But the point is I was on Lisa, and I said to this panel, when we're talking about Hillary Clinton, I used the term beard. I said, They said, why isn't Hillary more upset, so on and so forth? I said, I think Hillary is a beard.
Yeah.
I don't believe that they have a real marriage anyway. And now, the panel thought the term beard meant lesbian.
Oh, for God's sake.
I think. Because there's all sorts of connotations to the word beard. Now, beard means, here's the definition of a beard. Or the explanation of a beard. If I were gay...
But it's usually for guys that are gay that have a beard.
There was a Woody Allen movie called The Beard.
Yeah.
Which was about a writer who was blacklisted in the 50s and used another guy to turn his work in.
No, I understand.
So beard can mean...
Just a cover.
A cover, somebody, an accomplice, a substitute.
Right.
So if you're gay and you want to go to the prom and your dad's the dean of the school, you'd bring a girl with you, not your boyfriend, and that girl may be what's called a beard.
Right.
Or vice versa if you're lesbian. Doesn't matter what the sex is. Somebody sort of imposing, I should say, not imposing, Drew, but posing as somebody else. So I called Hillary Clinton a beard, and everyone got weird. Whoa, what are you talking? And I realized, I was thinking for a second, I thought, why are they so upset? I'm saying that I don't think they have much of a marriage. I think she's just... They're staying together because you can't have a president who gets divorced, and she's a beard by virtue of the fact that they haven't got divorced. She's acting as a wife.
Right.
Everyone spun out with the whole lesbian thing.
Oh, God.
It was I almost had a folding chair thrown at me. I started to sense it halfway into it. Thank God I have that.
Did you go back and retrace that, or? No, you're too tired. You're too lazy.
I don't know if I cleared it up or not. People, I don't know. People don't understand that terminology. Frank, it's a fairly well accepted.
I would think so. Yes.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
How do you get to be on a panel and be that big a jackass?
First time I remember hearing that term was when Linda Ronstadt was dating Jerry Brown. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I heard everybody goes, "Oh, she's a beard for him." I thought, what
He's gay?
Well, that was the sort of rumor at that point.
Oh, okay.
And so, obviously not.
All right, what am I stepping on there?
Frank, what's up?
What's going on?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good.
I'm 36 years old. I'm the product of a alcoholic family. My father was an alcoholic. My mother was pretty passive in the whole thing.
Congratulations.
And I took on, both of some of their characteristics.
Of course.
Anyway.
Are you an addict?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But I've been in therapy for a year and a half.
Yep.
And what has come out of this? Well, I'm like I said, I'm 36. My therapist is a student working on her master's.
Yeah.
And I get a cut rate,
Right.
type of fee.
Yeah.
How much it cost you?
$10 an hour.
Holy Christ.
Listen to
I
this,
just spent $90 for 50 minutes.
This is, and you might love this one, Adam.
Yeah.
The therapist is like 10 years younger than me.
Oh, man.
And a female.
Oh, it's the
And I'm attracted to her.
it's the blind leading the busty.
Well, I want to know if
Ooh.
the attraction issue has come up. I've talked about it. We both talked about it. And
Good.
I'm wondering if it's hindering my progress.
It's part of the process.
She talked about it?
I brought it up.
Yeah, I know, but what was her response?
Well,
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. We got to go to commercial. I know. Save that passion, Frank, because I'm very interested in this. This is it's interesting. When I was 19, maybe 20, first time I went to a therapist, and it was a female. And she wasn't bad looking. And,
Yes.
I'm going to get a little closer to my coffee. And, there's a weird sort of intimate bondy thing that goes on. You're sitting in a room. It's soundproof. You got yourself 50 minutes any way you slice it. Technically, it's your time, and you're paying for it. You
You
can do
seeing a
what you
male
want.
now? You got a female?
I'm seeing a transsexual, a post-operative, pre-op.
Male to female?
I'm not sure the direction. It's hard when they're right in the middle.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You don't know what direction he's going. No, it's a guy. He's a good guy.
Wasn't even your instructions by your dad?
See a woman?
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of women. Now I need someone who is on my side. I'm interested in a guy who agrees with me. And I sit around, I actually bring a cooler
All right, we gotta
of
go to
beer
break.
in there.
We got to go to break.
And we mostly talk
You
sports.
go ice fishing. All right.
All right, please. Yeah, we're going camping this weekend. You want to go? All right. So anyway, I'm saying I was, it's a weird thing when there's attraction there, and you have to talk about it, so it's even weirder. All right. So we'll find out what her reaction was to Frank's proposition when we get back. Oh, just talking about the pain, the pain and the heartache of shoulder injuries. Producer Ann's husband is just going through one. That's it. His career's over. I don't know what he was doing, but it's over. Whatever it is. I never mentioned this on the air, but when I was in Pop Warner football, I broke my shoulder so bad it wasn't supposed to grow right, and it was out of I to the best of my knowledge hold the record for something being out of socket
And surviving.
Yeah, I guess
Living to tell about.
I guess I could just have buried certain people with stuff out of socket. But when things pop out, and I've had a couple of things pop out in my life. I had a knee pop out. I had a finger pop out.
For Christ's sake.
When stuff pops out of joint, it's
so
excruciatingly painful. But the beauty of, and here's how now I know there's a God, because stuff pops out, pops right back in.
Yes.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Except for the finger. The finger doesn't pop back in. People have to pop it back in.
Yeah.
But it's your finger.
Yeah.
You can get by.
Yeah.
But, like, if your shoulder pops out and doesn't come back, you're done. And my shoulder popped out, and it would not come back. And that was about 3 or 4 days before it did come back. And that was just, that stopped the football game, cut my jersey off, cut my shoulder pads off, drove the ambulance out on the field. Couldn't move me from the field.
Oof.
Stopped the game. Called the early halftime. Is that wild? I was lying there in the middle of the field. These guys were looking at my shoulder, and they went, halftime.
Hell
We're not even going to move him. 13. Not moving him. We're just going to call him. We'll call the ambulance. We'll stay here. You guys go take your halftime. I don't know what the hell. I guess if it was a bigger, I guess if it was like in high school, they would have had a gurney or something with some wheels on. But I couldn't even be moved. Then riding the speed bumps out of the parking lot. That's what I remember most about my childhood. Lying in the back of an ambulance, going over speed bumps in an ambulance and screaming.
Since none of your family members came to any of your games, none of them are with you.
Wait a minute. I got to check on that. I think someone may have been there.
Well, your house was right up the street. Maybe they went and got someone.
No, this was a away game.
Oh.
I'm playing like the Burbank Vikings or something. All right, Frank.
So, Frank, he's attracted to his therapist.
Yeah, you're 36.
Yeah.
You're seeing a junior therapist. Mm-hmm. Is she good looking?
Have you seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Yeah, is it like that dark-haired chick?
Ferris's girlfriend.
Really?
An athletic version. So she's got, she's a little bit...
chunky?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's say athletic.
And listen.
The woman climbs mountains, okay, in her spare time, so,
Right.
She's in good shape.
Okay, so you're over there and you're sitting down and you're getting into like a lot of intimate stuff.
Well, I'm telling her my life.
Meanwhile, she's 26 and hot.
Yes.
And you find yourself attracted to her.
Well, I haven't the answer to this question. I don't know if this attraction issue is, stalling my progress, or should I, go to another therapist?
Well,
so that issue is not even a factor.
Let me explain why it's stalling Frank's progress. Because Frank doesn't say, when I was 9, my dad took away my Huggy blanket and I cried for 6 weeks. Here's what Frank says, because he's attracted to the chick. Right. Before I left the motocross circuit. you see? I mean, it's gotta steer. You cannot be as honest when you're attracted to somebody because there's the I think guys go on autopilot when it comes to you're trying to impress somebody.
Yeah, yes, but that is part of the process. And for many people, feeling these very intimate, loving feelings are part of the therapeutic process. And if you talk about them and work it through and develop a more realistic relationship with this person, if the therapist can keep the proper boundaries, God willing, this can be a very therapeutic process. So I just hang in there and keep talking.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you find yourself sort of shading things so you come out looking a little better?
Your two responses, I have seesawed. I have, gone pro and con on both of those takes, and I do not have an answer.
Well, I'm giving you one. Hang in there.
All right.
I mean, really, unless the therapist tells you that you have a problem, and you talk to her about it.
Well, what was her response when you told her about attraction?
Well, she really wanted to know why. And
why you were attracted to her?
Yes, and well, now, she allows me. Well, I come to realizations on my own. Okay, she doesn't prod me too much, and if I come to something that I figure out, I talk about it. And one of the reasons why I told her that I was attracted to her is because I have not shared these feelings and these stories of my life with anybody else.
Of course, and that is appropriate. That you should have some intense feelings. And it's good, and it's also a little bit of a defense against having other kinds of feelings for her too. You've had a disturbed past. That's why you're going to her. You've got to trust the process. Assume that she has appropriate.
What did she say? What did she say did she give any indication that she was attracted to you?
She said, "I think we should terminate therapy, and after a suitable period of time, then we may." Sound familiar?
Actually,
no, I never heard that.
Come on.
Who told me that?
Deconstructing Harry?
No, I thought you were talking about personally.
Deconstructing Harry.
She lays down her boundaries when things arise. Okay, when.
All right, so you don't think she's attracted to you?
Oh no! I don't look at it in that way.
Okay.
My ego on this issue is not involved. I don't think about
all right,
it.
Fine.
I understand
just curious.
it's something getting in the way of the process, and you need to hang in there and work through it.
I think he needs to see like an elderly Jewish guy.
No, he needs what he's going through is what he's going through, and he needs to go through it.
So, believe me, stuff like this happens all the time.
I can't believe you don't remember the Kirstie Alley character.
I do remember that. I, for some reason, thought that line you just delivered was delivered toward me in my past.
No, but if everybody has seen Deconstructing Harry, the Kirstie Alley figure gets confronted with stuff like this, and she responds to it, which is the most destructive counter-therapeutic behavior a therapist can possibly manifest.
Right.
Anybody ever is in a situation like that with a therapist, run, call the state licensing boards. That's a disturbed person you're working with.
I'm guessing that our listeners have seen something about Mary 26 times and not seen Deconstructed Harry. Please go out and see that movie and stop seeing all these movies these jackasses make about nothing. That's it. They're nonsense. Believe me. Guys getting their nuts caught in a zipper. Nonsense. Stop it. Oh, Drew, I got to vent for just one quick second.
Okay.
Me and my partner have a comedy that we've been pitching around town, a movie.
Yes. Oh, yes, about Gallagher.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Genius, I tell you. Actually, it was your idea.
Yes.
As you know.
Yes.
Because when the band Dishwalla came on, we started talking about what the Dishwalla was.
Right.
I don't want to get in the entire explanation of the plot, but basically...
I'm going to see you later for it. It's okay.
Basically, Drew came up with the idea... actually, I came up with the idea, and then Drew mentioned Gallagher. But Dishwalla, the band, that is named Dishwalla because they peddle satellite dishes to little impoverished villages. Or that's what the impoverished village is called, Dishwalla. And basically, these guys see a Gallagher concert and...
Spin out.
Now, the point is we're pitching this show around town... to some decent heavy hitters at some decent places. Usually dealing with white males in their mid-30s. And as everyone knows, Gallagher is he's the comedian with the big sledge-o-matic. Guy likes to dress up in a diaper and jump up and down on a mattress and wear tight pants, bushy mustache. He's Gallagher. Tabby hat.
He's got to be getting kind of old. He smushes up fruit. He explodes fruit.
He hits a fruit with the sledge-o-matic,
But you better get this movie produced before he gets too old to do that kind of stuff.
Well, it's not going to be easy because we pitched this movie around town, and the movie is called Kill Gallagher, and these imbeciles never heard of Gallagher. And listen, all you people who want to get into this industry, come and get it. You don't need anything. Believe me, you don't need 2 IQ points to rub together. All you guys that are drooling into a trough right now want to get into TV, movies, and especially radio, well, the people that are drooling in the trough, I think, are already in radio. I think they're in management. Come and get it, baby, because there are about 3 guys who know what they're doing, and the rest are just a bunch of overpaid a-holes. I swear to God, we had 6 meetings, and 4 of them never heard of the comedian Gallagher. Never.
These are guys whose business their business is comedy movies?
Producing comedy movies for major studios, did not know who the comedian Gallagher was. Not guys who, they weren't speaking with a thick Venezuelan accent. Just white guys in their mid-30s who got paid $2 or $3 million a year because they know that much about comedy, did not know the name of probably one of the highest-grossing stage acts of the 80s. I guarantee Gallagher had 30 specials. Gallagher probably had more nights in Vegas than Wayne Newton's had. Gallagher's probably made more money than any other stand-up doing stand-up. I'm not saying Tonight Show or Letterman or Seinfeld, parlaying it into a Seinfeld-type series. I mean, just being on stage, I would bet that Gallagher's in the top 3 of all-time grossers.
He would appear like in like arenas.
Gallagher used to book out arenas and play 20,000 seat venues every 310 dates out of the year. And these assholes never heard of Gallagher.
Okay, I'm going to break.
All right, so you jackasses, fire yourself, please. Anyway, no one jumped on our idea. I guarantee this will get made and you guys will cry, but it won't. I want to rub it in your face, but by then you'll be out on the street living in a refrigerator box. Oh, this town's just chock full of a-holes. Chock full of a-holes. We ought to change, forget the name Los Angeles. It's just chock full of a-holes. And believe me, I wouldn't care. I'm getting off this, and we're going to commercial. Donny Osmond's coming. I wouldn't care if you guys all got paid between $8 and $12 grand a year. That's what you're worth. The fact that you make $1 million a year for not knowing anything is what breaks my ass. It kills me. It kills me that people that know zero about comedy get paid $1 million a year to pass judgment on everybody else. You guys can't write anything. You can't perform anything. You can't do a thing. If I gave you $1 million to stand up at the Ice House and do 3 minutes of original comedy, you couldn't do it, but you're an expert. Oh, you know everything. How do you know when you can't do it? You know who coaches in the NBA? Guys who played in the NBA. You know coaches in the NFL? All-stars. Guys who were defensive backs for the Eagles and had 8 all-star years. Find me a coach in the NBA. Find me a manager in baseball that didn't have a few all-star years under his belt.
How about Lasorda?
Lasorda played in the major leagues. Nobody coaches and makes decisions that doesn't have real experience. Only in Hollywood you have people that know zero about comedy dictating to you what's funny and what's going to work. That's why we're in the state we're in. All right, so when you turn on the TV and you see junk, realize that idiots who know nothing about comedy but get paid way too much are deciding what's good and what's not. You understand that?
Now I do.
Picture the NBA with a bunch of guys who never played. Bunch of short, fat, slow guys. Picture the NFL with a bunch of guys who never played ball. Coaching the team. That's what you got in Hollywood.
True.
Yes. One of the original members of Korn is here, Donny Osmond.
Hey.
Everybody. Donny's...
Korn? What did you say, of Korn?
That's a band. They're like the Osmonds.
I think your son's involved with Korn.
Yeah, right. Hey, if it's any consolation, I know who Gallagher is, okay?
Thank God.
I know Gallagher. I know him.
Thank God. Thank God. I know. Drew got me all excited.
He's that office executive that I met the other day.
No.
Oh.
You
Was
know
it Ron
who
Gallagher?
He is. Actually, Peter Gallagher.
I can't
was just on
believe
your
they
show.
don't know who Gallagher is.
This is 3 out of 4 Hollywood executives.
Unbelievable.
Gallagher should kill himself. Forget about us killing him.
Have you introduced our guest yet?
Oh, yes. Donny Osmond is here. Donny is here representing the Donny Marie Show, which debuted Monday.
Yesterday.
And is it different times? It's syndicated.
Yes. For those out there in Radio Land that don't know what that means, they go to every individual market across the country.
Right.
And they sell it to the individual stations. And then they air it when they can or when they want to.
Remember that?
Nappy convention.
Nappy, you've been there.
Oh, yes.
You've been there, done that. And we're finding we're around 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Here in L.A., we're at 9 a.m.
Right.
And New York, we're at 9 a.m.
So 9 is about as early as you go, and 1 is about as late as you go.
No, there's
normally.
There's 3, 4 o'clock. There's some places around 4 o'clock. One place put us at 8 p.m.
Really?
It's not an evening show. It's a daytime. I want to say like Wilkes-Barre or
What state is that in? This is
where's Wilkes-Barre?
It's a state of drought, I
Pennsylvania.
think.
I think it's Wilkes. I can't remember.
They're doing the exact same wiggle that we had to do where they're in those Fox O&Os.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they had to sell the rest of it out, right?
Right.
How
And
many
they sold every market?
That's great.
Oh, you sold every market?
100%.
So, yeah, because, listen, we got up to like 93% or something, and it was considered a coup. So if you can do 100%, that is unbelievable.
It's actually better than Network. Network covers about 97% of the country.
And you guys got 100.
And we got... Well, 99.6, which is considered 100% because you can't get any more than that.
Well, I'll tell you, it's un-American not to put Donny and Marie on. Only you'd have to be some sort of communist not to put on this wholesome show. All right, so our show, we did the show, what was it, last week? And it's
I think it's
may
actually
air
on tomorrow.
this week?
Yeah.
Oh, tomorrow, you think? Yeah.
But guys, you held back.
I thought we were too softball.
Yeah, you were just softballing it, man.
I told him he should hook us up with Erin next time. She gets the better questions.
Well, Erin is a producer that we know from working on other projects, and she's dynamite. And she actually, I was very naive and said to her when I ran into her again at your show, I said, Erin, boy, every show you work on, like clockwork, I run into you. This is amazing. What a coincidence. And then I realized, no, she gets on these shows and then pitches us. Meaning she goes to Keenan or Vibe or wherever
That's how you guys got a booking. It was
That's how
Erin.
we get the booking.
Got it.
Aaron runs point for us, and then she brings us in. But the point is we were told it's Donny and Marie, it's a morning show, or it's a daytime show.
Right.
It's a family show. Take it easy.
I could see it on your faces. It was so funny. I knew what was going on because you were just sitting there on those two stools, and your face was like, I want to say something, but
no, we don't mind. We don't mind. Listen, if they had thrown us a hardball, we would have answered accordingly. But there were underhand lobs coming over.
Yeah.
The questions were daytime-esque questions.
Right.
All right, so who do you got tomorrow? Are we on tomorrow?
If you want to be.
Can you make a call?
Actually, I'm showing up at 6:30 tomorrow morning to get prepped on the whole week. Yeah, it's going to be a long day tomorrow, man.
Wow.
And what is a normal day for you? I know you did Tom Snyder tonight.
Yeah.
Do you doing a lot of press for it?
Usually go to the bathroom in the morning. That's a typical day.
Right, number one. Then drink a cup of coffee, go number two. But that's at work. But you got your own stall.
You're not going to get anything serious from me tonight. I'm sorry, guys. I'm on one of those.
All right, well, let me ask, what's Jimmy up to? I remember
he's up to about 5'7".
Jimmy used to play. All I remember it's kind of surreal for me to. It was surreal for me to do Donny and Marie and to be sitting between Donny and Marie and having Dick Clark bent over and facing us. By the way,
thank you. Okay.
Talking to me because 2 years ago I was swinging a hammer, and I grew up, watching American Bandstand and Donny Marie and all this, and the notion that I would be involved with something that they were doing, even if it was in a small way, is absolutely bizarre to me.
Do you know how cool it is to have Dick Clark as your executive producer? And then TriStar's our syndicator. Marilyn Wilson, who is our other executive producer, came over from ABC Specials. Talented lady.
What is, don't take any offense to this, but
I didn't answer the Jimmy thing.
I'm sorry, yes.
One question at a time, please.
I'm sorry,
okay,
please.
All right.
Nice bridge.
Jimmy played the trumpet, by the way, although I don't believe he actually played the trumpet. I was 9 and knew that kid was blowing the wrong end of the horn, believe me. Jimmy used to come out and play
I take the fifth on that one.
If anyone remembers the old Donny and Marie the TV series with the country and the rock and roll, I think it was like 76
to 79.
79.
That's it.
Their younger brother, Jimmy, who is probably about my age now, actually. What is he now? 36. Oh, he's 36. He would come out and do these long trumpet solos, but it was like Doc Severinsen was playing behind the curtain because the kid was 8 years old and he was blowing like
actually, I don't know how much he can now.
Our listeners don't know who Doc Severinsen is, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he lives next to Gallagher.
So anyway, what is Jimmy doing?
Jimmy's actually the money guy in the family. Entrepreneur is what I was looking for. He saw this whole thing happening in Branson, Missouri.
Oh, okay. He's going to hell. He's going to hell with Mo Bandy.
So what happened was that the Osmond brothers, as we all knew them, quit the business. I mean, they said, we've had enough.
All right.
Let's just pack it in. Let's find something else. And Jimmy saw this whole thing happening in Branson and saw an opportunity, went in there, bought a theater.
Oh.
His own money.
Genius, Drew.
Went on the line, neck on the line the whole bit, signed the loan documents and said, you know what, I really believe in this. I think it's going to work.
What year is this?
This is 92.
Oh.
92.
Oh.
So he renamed the theater the Osmond Family Theater, put my brother's act back together again. And we all know what Branson is. We call it the way it is. It's mainly for mid-America. They show up in campers and trailers and all that kind of stuff. And it's that kind of entertainment.
There's a handful of our listeners who aren't hip to Branson, Missouri, but basically it's sort of Vegas minus
the showgirls.
It's like all the shows of Vegas showed up in Branson, Missouri. They bus in people from New York.
It's a 24-hour traffic jam.
And buses of mainly older folks go in there and they see, Ray Stevens and Glenn Campbell.
Cute entertainment.
That's nice, wholesome.
Family, wholesome entertainment.
Wholesome stuff, right. Middle America.
But
the people that bought the theaters are rich now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tell me about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm calling Jimmy, asking for loans now.
So how did he have this foresight to buy the theater back in 92?
Jimmy's always had that sixth sense about him, He took, he basically got nothing, and he got a restaurant. Called it Jimmy's Restaurant, and from that little restaurant, he bought a real estate company, which is Osmond Real Estate in Utah. He bought the old Osmond studios when it went into bankruptcy, but this other guy ran it into the ground. He saw the foresight there, put it back together, put equipment in there, sold it for millions on the.
So who's performing at the Osmond Family Theater right now in Branson?
Who do you think?
I'm going with the Gatlin brothers. No. The Osmonds, but you're not performing with them.
No, I don't.
See, to me, that's like the Doors without Jim Morrison. Who needs it? It's just Ray Manzarek.
So you're liking Donny Osmond and Jim Morrison?
I'm saying that when people go to see the Osmond brothers...
That would work.
That's true. All right. Does Jimmy get out there and fake playing the flugelhorn for like 20 minutes in the middle of the gig?
Oh man, I hope he's not listening to this. Do you guys go?
We are. I think we are around there.
Near Missouri, Kansas, Lawrence.
All right, let's attempt to punch in.
Actually, you know what? It's kind of a cool show that they put together.
I got a friend who performs out there, and I swear to God, I want to go out there just to take it in.
He's
doing all right. Yeah, Philip Welford.
Have him go look up Jimmy. They'll give him a job.
Andy Williams, work with there. Emma.
Yes.
You're 30.
Yeah.
You never realize you're pregnant until you delivered?
It happens. You've heard of it.
Did you deliver prematurely?
No, I was at 37 and a half weeks.
And you didn't know it?
And I didn't know it because I take medication.
Oh. What kind of medication?
I take Haldol and a Cogentin. I'm chemically imbalanced.
So you have schizophrenia?
It's like borderline, they said.
Okay.
But
I've also been diagnosed with bipolar, too.
Okay. But that would not prevent you from seeing... or at least somebody else.
Well, see, the medication that I'm on with my body and everything...
it makes you gain weight.
Well, no, it doesn't make me gain weight. It actually makes me stop my period.
No, I understand, but somebody should have seen that you were pregnant. I mean, there are physical changes that go on.
No, see, when I gain weight, I usually gain in my tummy and in my butt and in my chest. That's the way I normally gain weight. Kind of like a diabetic, how they gain weight.
How much do you weigh normally?
About 135.
And you didn't know you
hold on a second.
That's amazing.
And I only gained about...
All right, let's go.
Hold on a second.
What's the question?
No, we got to go to break because we're getting close to the end of the hour. But this is scintillating stuff.
Right.
I thought she was going to say, Donnie's here. Donnie Marie have themselves a daytime TV show. It's on different times. Check your listings. And we'll take a little 10-second top of the hour break, and we'll be right back with you.
Yeah, regular guy.
It is Loveline. Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew, Donny Osmond is our guest. A guy who's not Donny Osmond, Henry Rollins, will be in here on Thursday night. And Donnie has a another show with his sister Marie. I would kill my sister if I had to do a show. I see my sister twice a year, Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm going to leap across the table and strangle her. I couldn't imagine working with her.
Yeah,
I could do it with Marie.
It's a little easier to like her. She's actually a very talented woman. It's nice that we separated for 20 years because it enabled us to...
20 years. You old fart.
Because we separated, did our own... pick Drew up off the floor, please.
Drew was old when the first show came out, so he's ancient now.
I was thinking.
But now that we've come back together after 20 years, we both had all these different experiences that we can draw from. We both have our own families now. Marie's got 6 children. I have 5 boys.
Think about that, 6 kids. I want you to think about that, Adam.
Oh, boy.
All right, you hear me complain about 3.
I can't imagine. I can't.
You have 3 children?
That's triplets.
Show him the picture. He'll melt.
Have your family picture?
I want to talk.
I don't have them with me, no.
I want to talk about the Osmonds for just a second because I remember as a kid, I remember watching the Osmond cartoons. I remember the Osmonds and the Jacksons sort of around the same time, and it seemed to me that Donnie was sort of what Michael was to the Jacksons.
Yeah,
They're
at that time.
Talented older brothers, good-looking heartthrob, slightly younger brother who was leading it. No, Donnie, you're killing me. Let me ask you, how old were you when tell me how the whole thing got started. Your folks sort of put together you guys when you were very young?
He was sexually abused by his father.
Yes,
just
right.
How old were you when it got started?
I didn't have a Joe Jackson in our family. I was 5 years old. I wasn't a part of the original band.
You weren't.
The Osmond brothers, they got started and started singing together, and eventually that went into the Andy Williams show. They actually got discovered at Disneyland. They got put on a couple television shows called Disney After Dark or something like that, or Walt Disney After Dark. And Andy Williams' father saw them, put them on a couple shows, and the mail response was great, and I watched them. I remember watching them on television. I think, wow, that looks like a lot of fun.
You were how old?
I was 5.
Oh.
And
4 or 5 years
how old were they?
Well, everybody's 2 years apart. So Jay, the next oldest, would have been 7.
Right.
7, 9, 10, and 11, or 11 and 13.
Right. And then when did you get incorporated into the group?
Well, I did a solo appearance at 5 when I was on Andy's show. And the male response was great, and I was stuck at that point. I became a full-fledged member of the band at 7.
What about the chicks? Did they like it? Oh, I see, the male
Yes.
response.
M-A-I-L.
I'm hip.
Yeah.
So the response was great,
you're killing me,
and now I got to make a bad joke once in a while too. And now
Right back at you.
forget about the gay guys. What did the chicks think? So now you're in the band.
Yeah.
And you're what age now?
7.
7 years old.
Mhm.
And that's it. From that point on.
I'm stuck.
And how?
I hated it too. I really I didn't want any part of it because now all the work was starting. I had to travel a lot and be away from home.
Right.
Friends.
Well, I didn't have that many friends because once I started in show business,
You were
it was
taken
just
away.
like, yeah.
Now, how many years did that go on before you and Marie got the TV show? Because you must have been.
I was 16 when the TV show happened.
Really?
Yeah,
What did you think?
13. Actually,
What do you
12 or 13 years old when One Bad Apple came out. And then I was
One
like,
bad apple
don't spoil the whole bunch.
Give me one more chance before you give up on love.
You know why
I could have been in that band.
Yeah, I love that rendition. You know why everybody thought that was the Jackson 5?
I thought it was Jackson 5 too.
Well, because on the record, right below it says One Bad Apple, right below it says Jackson. A guy by the name of George Jackson wrote it. Yeah.
Drew, you weren't impressed by the way I just hopped right on in there with the One Bad Apple?
Honestly?
All right, you jackass. So, you start the TV show at
You want my
16? You sounded bad too. Please.
Hey, at this hour of night, anybody is saying bad.
You started the TV at 16?
Started the Donny Marie show.
And
yeah.
Marie was a couple years
14.
younger. Oh.
See, because you were sort of adults in the show.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and I didn't as a...
It was more like Sonny and Cher.
As a...
How old are you, Adam?
I'm 34.
Okay.
You're 40?
Yeah, I'm 40.
So...
6 years younger. You were like
as a 10 years
8 years old.
As an 8-year-old, I definitely perceived you as adults, and you weren't, like I said, it was a variety show.
Yeah.
Like, there was Tony Orlando and Don, there was
Sonny and Cher.
Sonny Cher, Pink Lady and Jeff for like 10 seconds, and to me it was just another adult variety show.
Right.
And you weren't doing a bunch of like teeny bopper skits, were you? I mean,
No, there was some sophisticated humor in it, but a lot of it was stupid. I mean, let's call it the way it was. That's what the show was.
Silly.
It was silly.
But not stupid.
Silly, stupid. Well, I use the same interchangeably. Silly, stupid.
and that lasted for
But you know, pies in the face and
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. That can be kind of silly. But that's what it was. That's what the innocent entertainment of variety shows were back in those
Were
days.
your brothers jealous that you got that gig?
No, because everybody was working on the show behind the scenes.
Right, but they were sort of they're working on your show.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I never really felt it.
Really? That's good.
Maybe later on. I was always embarrassed that I was pushed out in front.
Really?
Yeah.
And the whole heartthrob thing.
Yeah, it was always kind of embarrassing.
It's got to be weird when you're, 12 and you're this heartthrob, but you have no pubic hair.
But imagine...
I mean, what do you do?
Adam, what would happen to you if you were a heartthrob at 15, though? Oh, gee.
Forget about it.
You've been in jail.
Extra masturbation. That's what it would have been for me. I would have doubled down on all the potential sex I could have had. I wouldn't have known what to do. Yeah, I mean, like when I was 15, 16, 17, I had to chase girls around and just got the door slammed in my face. How the hell did you react to being that? Did you capitalize on it? I mean, it'd break your parents' heart, right?
I really didn't capitalize on it.
You're gonna be lying in your deathbed. You're gonna say,
I
"Give me a
went
boot
through this
so
on
I can
Howard
hit
Stern.
myself."
I went through the same stuff on Howard Stern. He didn't believe me either, but I was so busy.
It makes sense. Proper parenting.
Yeah.
Good choices. That's it.
But I'll be honest with you, it was very, very difficult because I was a normal teenager, the same kind of sex drive as anyone else. But my parents laid down our values and our principles, and we stuck by them.
Right. Well, you can only have 3 wives and no more than 18 kids. So when you went out, when you started dating it, or if you did, I assume at 15 or 16, was it in Tiger Beat magazine? Was it
that's what drove me
Chaperone?
crazy.
Sure of it.
That's
Yeah, of
my
course.
private life just was not private at all.
Really?
No.
And this is 20 years ago, everybody. So don't think this is something that just came around.
So it was, I couldn't really go out and meet somebody and just have,
How'd you meet your wife?
Time. She dated my brother.
Oh, Jimmy?
Jay.
That bastard. I'll kill him.
Yeah, she dated him for a while, and I was in love with this other girl named Tammy, and who incidentally came to the show the other day.
Did we see her?
No, you didn't see her. She showed up and she was sitting in the front row.
Oh, that freaked you out.
Whoa, freaked me out completely.
Did you know she was coming?
No, I had no idea.
Wow.
Had no idea.
Yeah,
That's gotta be
listen,
weird.
anybody, did you sleep with Tammy?
No.
That's not
Oh, you didn't? Well, that's all right then. It's weird when you run into people you had sex with. It happened to me on Lisa yesterday.
What?
Yeah. I don't want to embarrass the woman because, when you sleep with me, you could get fired. But a woman that I literally had a one-night stand with about 8 or 9 years ago, who's about 2 or 3 years older than I am, showed up in my dressing room. She was like producing or something.
That's got to be awkward.
It's a little weird, and it's not embarrassing unless I was bad.
Women do it that
I think I was okay, in which case I wasn't embarrassed. Usually I'm embarrassed because I was pathetic. Yeah. So I immediately, it was like, it's weird. If you sleep with them, it's weird. But you didn't sleep with her.
No,
so you had a few dates. It's all right. So your wife is dating your older brother, and they break up, or you steal her away?
I just stole her away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, he must hate you.
Eventually, he took out Tammy. That would be kind of cool if he married Tammy,
but he never, it never came to fruition. All right, so Donny and Marie are now back on during the day.
Yes,
and it's syndicated, so you got to keep a look, keep an eye out on it.
It is that actually I shouldn't use the word hard. It's kind of challenging because you're doing a show every day, and it's not just a talk show. Because, talk shows, and I shouldn't say this because you guys do talk, because you have to keep it entertaining and fast-paced.
Oh, we don't.
Yeah, we don't bother.
Our listeners are stoned, though.
Oh, okay.
Yours just had a cup of coffee, so you really got to keep things moving.
Right. But we try to do production numbers and all this kind of stuff. Yesterday we did this number with Peter Gallagher. He wanted to sing with Donny and Marie. So we did it. And we brought the big brass band in, and the choreographer came in.
Did you rehearse it beforehand?
And we had like an hour. Oof. We did it in an hour.
But it's good that you grew up having to do that.
That's what we talked about on Tom Snyder tonight. All those years of doing Andy Williams' show and the Jerry Lewis show, even the Donny and Marie show, they threw everything at us, guys. And we were known as the Osmonds who could do anything. And
that was back before, not that they didn't have the ability to edit, but what I mean is
no, you're absolutely right.
There weren't teleprompters back then.
No, one take, man. You get it done.
Right. It's like you're a journeyman. I just want to say one thing real quick with regarding Dick Clark, who's executive producer, I guess. I saw Dick on the set. He now looks like the world's oldest teenager. Or there's a picture of him aging somewhere. I think it's Dorian Gray, or I don't know how the story goes. But the point is Dick Clark has to have $250 million put away somewhere.
Probably more.
He has to, because his name is on everything. I mean, he produces everything. He does everything. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's got to be in his mid-60s.
At least.
Why doesn't he just get on a sailboat and call the day? And I don't mean to be offensive. I don't mean to be offensive to you, but I'm looking at Dick, and he's looking a little stressed out, and I'm thinking,
he looked great, though.
I asked him the same question.
He looked great.
Well, for a guy who's 84, he looks great. But the point is why is he doing it?
Adam, I asked him the same question. Why don't you just enjoy your life? He says, I am enjoying my life. Yeah. This is what I love to do. He drives around in a van. He has a driver, and in the back of his van, he let me come in and see it. He's converted this whole thing. No, he's converted this whole thing. It's a television studio. Oh. He's got monitors in there and VCRs, and this guy is constantly working on a project, and he loves it. And he said, that's what keeps me young. I absolutely love what I do. And when he comes over to the set, it's not just I'll lend my name to this project.
He's all over it.
He is hands-on, and during commercial breaks, he'll come up and talk to Marie and myself.
He came up and talked to us.
Did he really?
Several times.
He goes and talks to the audience during the commercial breaks.
Yeah.
And it's just so nice to have that kind of resource available to us because, 50 years in the business, 50 years in television. It's nice to have that kind of executive producer.
I know. I mean, it's amazing. And listen, here's what I said. As I was saying to somebody, why is Dick Clark working with $250 million in the bank? I stopped myself and I said, if he would have quit, he would have quit at $10 million.
Yeah.
And this is he
loves
goes.
what he got on the show the other day was Grace Slick. She was an interesting person to talk to.
Well, when you think Dick Clark, you do think Grace Slick.
Well, no, I mean, he is a great resource as far as that. He's got friends for forever. And she came on the show. That was an interesting interview.
Wow.
Because we talked about things that went places that people wouldn't think Donnie and Marie would talk about, you know. But it was great to talk about the 60s and why she got into the LSD thing and what was the attraction for her. And she's coming out with a book right now. I think
It's sort of a tell-all about her life, and I mean, a lot of guys she slept with, stuff like that.
Yeah, and her take on a lot of different people that
She's
she worked
bipolar.
with.
She's manic depressive.
Is she really?
She's got energy in that department. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, are you still on the line?
Emma,
yeah.
I'm still here.
Emma's delivered.
Hi to Donny Osmond.
Hi, Emma. How are you?
Oh my God, I grew up listening to you, Puppy Love.
Puppy Love. Give me a little bit of Puppy Love.
No. Emma, so
You want me to sing One Bad Apple again?
No. I'd rather not hear that one.
Precisely why I don't want her to sing. I don't want Adam to start.
All right, let me reset. Emma, be quiet. You're crazy. Now be quiet. You're 30 years old. You were 135 pounds. You didn't know you were pregnant until you delivered the baby. And you're on all sorts of medication.
No, I'm not.
Well, she held Uncle Jet. There's not a lot of
Let
medicine.
me tell you, okay? It has prolonged my periods before, okay? It's happened to me. I've been taking it for 8 years.
Emma, I know you're working the period angle on this. We're working the huge lump in your abdomen angle. Do you understand?
I know that, but I'm not the first one. Okay.
You're the first one I've spoken to who wasn't over 300 pounds.
Well, okay.
Because that does happen commonly
I
for
only gained about 20 pounds altogether, and he was 6'3".
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, who was
anyways,
6'3"?
The
pardon
baby
me?
was 6'3".
He was 6 pounds 3 ounces.
Oh.
I've been through this 5 times, so I know the terminology.
Wow, no kidding. Like a paramedic.
Well, anyways, the thing I wanted to ask you was, I didn't realize it, and like I said, it's happened to me before where I've been off my periods
All
before.
right, we got that part. Got that part.
Right. Oh, Dr. Drew?
Yes.
I just wanted to say I thought you were a very handsome young man.
Well, thank you very much.
Hey, Emma?
Yes?
I'm a lot older than you are.
Let me just check one thing. So you don't know you're pregnant, and do you start delivering the baby?
No, what happened was I carried him in my back, and I was having back labor pains.
Okay.
Yeah, how do you carry him in your back?
At some point, it's sort of upright.
I'm sorry.
It's way up high.
Kid sitting up?
Oh, hold on. That
Yeah.
was just my sister. She came in.
All right, Emma, let's get to the question. What is the question? All right, go ahead.
Anyways, well, I was smoking pot. I was drinking.
Not good,
I was
right?
doing the normal things that I always do.
Is everything okay with the...
He's fine. He's fine. The thing I wanted to know was I was smoking cigarettes. I was drinking. Like I said, I was doing pot.
Were you pounding on your belly, too? I'm trying to think of another thing she could do.
Obviously, listen, the marijuana and the alcohol can obviously put the child at risk. I mean, as far as you know now, there's no fetal alcohol syndrome, right?
Not as far as I know.
How old is the child now?
He's 2 months.
Okay, so we'll see. Hopefully there will be no neurocognitive delay. I mean, that's the main thing you worry about is the child develops normally and keeps up with his peers.
Where's Daddy?
That's a long story. I don't want to get into it.
Okay. All right, we're gonna let you go, but I just got to ask one more thing. So hold on, you're carrying the baby in your back, as you say, and do you start
get labor?
Do you have labor?
Well, yeah, I was having it in my back.
Did you go to the emergency room, or what'd you do?
Yeah, I went to the emergency room.
And they said you're pregnant.
Yeah, and it's like.
And they did deliver it that day?
Yeah. Yeah, basically, I was at 3 centimeters. So.
Weren't you just completely freaked out?
Yeah, I was. Everybody was shocked.
All right.
That's hard to believe.
It happens.
But like I said, my wife has been through it 5 times.
Oh my God!
And how do you not know that you are 9 months pregnant?
Oh my God!
See, just schizophrenic.
Donnie, here's my problem. I look at a pregnant woman as mama.
Yeah,
I really do. And see, I don't have a wife, but hypothetically, if I get married and she gets pregnant, I think I'm going to look at her as mama.
Right.
I'm not going to look at her as my lover. You know what I'm
still
saying?
look at my wife as
You're so screwed up, Adam.
You really are.
Yeah.
My wife is my lover. Even though she's had 5 babies.
It gets better when they have kids.
It really does.
Because you got something to rest on?
I'll correct you on that one, Drew. From my point of view, it gets better. No, you said better. It gets different.
Well, I tell you what. One of the
two healthy guys.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you gain a recognition for how pathetic you are as a male and how amazing women are.
Yeah.
And that creates a more high level fulfillment in the relationship.
And the patience that they have towards
the instincts
the
and stuff. You just, oh my God.
What period of time did she have the 5 children in?
Well, our oldest is 19 and our youngest is 7 months.
Oh, wow. That's spread out.
Yeah.
Oh.
She is an amazing woman.
No
kid. I mean, it sounds really...
Well, what are the ages? Oh, you got 19, I think you have 17.
13, 7, and 7 months.
And they're all...
All boys. All boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Ooh, that's an interesting thing. That was the same.
What are Marie's kids?
I came from 8 boys and 1 girl. 9 kids.
Wow.
What's
Marie has all boys too, or no?
No, Marie has 6 children, half and half.
So something with the X sperm, the Y sperm.
Is it the Y or is it the X?
Well, the X is not connecting. The Y is what's connecting every time. The
Y is a male?
Y is male. The Y sperm is working better for you.
Right.
Than the X sperm.
Right. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And that's some good genes here, because I tell you, Donnie's 40. He looks a hell of a lot better than me. I'm 34.
Well, thank you.
A hell of a lot better.
A hell of a lot.
A hell of a lot. See? It's all genes. That, I think he was kept out of the sun. I think he was wearing a straw hat for so long when he was a kid that his face never saw the sun.
Yeah, right.
Let's take another call, please.
All right.
Who's this?
Cameron.
Cameron.
Yeah.
You're
How you
18.
doing?
What's going on?
Well, what's going on is my girlfriend's saying that she thinks the only reason why I'm with her is because of sex.
Is it?
No.
Why does she feel that way?
Well, we only see each other like once a month because it's like a long-term, like long-distance relationship. I mean,
how long have you been with her?
About 6 months.
Somehow you're not meeting her emotional needs. All she sees from you when you get in touch with her is that you need some physical stuff, and that's all she gets out of you. And once you get your needs met, you're sort of done, I suspect.
Can I interject a thought here, Dr. Drew? One thing I do with my wife is that, obviously, with 5 children, we have sex, but I give her little notes. I give her little presents. I give her, the little things. And I found over 20 years of marriage, it's the little things that count for a woman.
Oh, jeez, I hope my girlfriend's not
He's so
listening
healthy,
to
he's
the show.
making me sick.
Yeah,
and I've learned that, guys, I didn't know this from the get-go.
I'm going to get my ass kicked.
Hold on.
I didn't know this from the get-go. I had to learn this the hard way because
don't you, though?
My wife kicked me, too.
Your wife teaches you this stuff.
Right? Yeah, because, and this is one thing, Cameron, that you probably should do with your girlfriend, is, send her some flowers. Send her a little note. Give her a little gift, without expecting anything else.
Hey, Donnie, here's a pad and pencil. My girlfriend's name's Lynette. Could you whip up? Come on, weave your magic, would you, buddy?
No, but it means so much to women. The little things mean so much to
it's intimacy.
women.
That's what intimacy is.
Yeah.
And sustaining that is what the challenge is.
It is so true.
I'm so pathetic. See? Well, aren't we pathetic? You and I.
Well, now we're in the same category just because Donny Osmond's in here?
No, I'm not saying that to put myself in that position, because I'll reiterate, I learned it the hard way. Because, that book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, my wife read it. I haven't read it yet. But she taught me everything in it. She said, honey, you've got to pay attention to the little things.
The women should not be allowed to read. We should bind their feet and their eyes. They really shouldn't. This is very dangerous. I'm going to burn every book in my house that's not pornography. Here's the situation.
You're a sick man, Adam.
You can. A little. It's like a saccharin or something. Just a couple drops goes a long way with women. Just a little. And here's the thing. Women don't think like guys. Guys think in terms of bottom line, which is, if you make something, here's what I've always said about, let's say, when it comes to gift giving. A guy, when Christmas rolls around, he finds something he wants, and he wants that thing.
And he gets it.
And he gets it. And he doesn't care if you're getting it for him. He doesn't care if you ripped off a bunch of those change receptacles for Jerry's kids at the 7-Eleven and cashed those in and bought it for him. He doesn't care if you wrestled it away from your retarded neighbor, dusted it off, sanded out the guy's initials, and gave it to you. As long as you have it, that's good.
That's right.
Women, they want something personal. They want some effort. Yeah, I swear to God, they'd be if you stuck elbow macaroni to the side of a can and put yarn around it. As long as you
That's
did
what
it,
I gave my wife for Christmas. How did you know?
it holds a lot of pens. As long as you did it, they're happy about it. And that's how women work. So, guys, you can write a little note. You can make a little. You can go pick a couple of flowers. You can get a ton of mileage out of almost nothing.
But don't expect anything from it. See, that's the key. You know, you do it unconditionally.
Right. For me, it's always like a bribe to a prison guard. I do it when I've screwed up and I have to make amends, and then they know.
But see, they can see
what
right
it's there.
through it.
Sure.
They're so intelligent; they can see right through it.
Yeah, it's more they have like a strong sense of scent or something. I don't know if it's intelligence. You don't call like a hyena intelligent. They're very instinctive. You know, they can track like a gazelle. They know. You know what I'm saying? They sense fear.
That's right.
All right, Donny Osmond is here. We'll take a little break, and we'll be back. Hey, it's Loveline. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Donny Osmond is here. He's got himself a little show. It's it's Donnie Marie, right?
Marie wanted to call it Marie and Donnie. I wouldn't sign the contract.
Yeah. Somehow this show has turned into Dr. Drew and his sidekick Adam, which is absolutely pathetic. Oh, boy, is that going to be funny one day. All right, but
Is that heard to be called sidekick?
Oh.
Kind of like second class?
Sidekick is like somebody who, like, gets the magician as props or something.
Right.
That fits.
What?
That fits.
Ooh,
I
Drew.
see animosity between the two of you guys.
Let me tell you something, the reality of Drew's existence and career as it pertains to Loveline. He languished in this pit of a city on one station for about 12 years, 11 or 12 years. Then you
came along.
That's right.
Then I gave him the nod.
I see.
Okay.
And now you're in two cities.
Now we're in two cities and we have 26 listeners.
That's my sidekick.
Oh, jackass. Please, don't kid yourself. You know where your bread is buttered, Drew.
I do.
All right. Drew gets weird when I kid around, you know.
Well, see, I do the same thing with Marie.
No, but I do get weird.
Marie's my sidekick. Oh,
I do get weird,
boy, am I going to get it tomorrow?
I know nothing about this business. And so if somebody whose business it is to be entertaining tells me I'm boring, I get worried. I think, oh, God,
No, here's what I'm talking about, Drew getting weird. Drew and I go out of town and we do these college lectures, you know, and we're getting back from one, and it came time to pick up Drew's car at the airport parking. And Drew had paid for a couple of things, and he said, all right, it's time to settle up. You owe me $60 for a number of things that he'd paid for during the course of the trip. And I said, you know, Drew, on this lectures, I do most of the talking. And I'm really busting my ass out there. You pretty much hang back. I mean, you think it's fair that... And Drew immediately got weird. Don't start that. You can't start that.
No, I said, don't think like that.
Very defensive. Very defensive.
You were getting very weird. You were getting weird.
Just saying.
Bringing you back to reality.
Who gets paid more, Dan Marino or the guy that snaps the ball?
Hey, I'm going to be arbitrator here now. You guys get 50-50 split? Is that what you do?
Yeah.
I think if it's possible, we get like a 20-20 split. Because we can't be getting half. We really can't. We really don't get paid enough to get half of even nothing.
Do you really squabble about how much you make?
He does. I
do because I should be getting paid more.
Why?
Well, as Drew says, here's Drew's argument, and then I shut him up immediately with this.
Okay.
He said, listen, I have 10 years of schooling and 4 years of this and 10 years of that. I'm a professional. I'm a doctor. I'm a physician. You think you should get paid more than me? I said, Drew, who makes more, you or Seinfeld? He shuts up immediately.
Good point.
Thank you.
Good point.
Andrew, so you're on with me now, right?
Yeah, that's kind of a good point.
See if
Who's on the phone?
Andrew?
Andrew, yeah.
You're 15. What's going on?
Drew, you're really cool. I think you're a really great guy. Donnie, I've never seen your show before, but I'll make sure I start watching it. And Ace Rockola, you're like, I don't know, kind of like a god to me almost.
That's right.
I really look up to you.
And believe me, Donny Osmond is very offended. That's blasphemous for me to be god to somebody, isn't it?
Yeah. Andrew, I'm offended.
Yeah, I saw Lisa today.
Yeah. Oh, how was he?
That was pretty good.
All right, Andrew, what's going on? What's the question?
Okay, I'm taking some 12-step program.
For what?
For marijuana and alcohol.
Okay.
And I was wondering what that is. I have no idea what it is.
You mean you haven't actually started getting involved yet?
No, I found out I was going to have to take it today because I went to some guy today.
You got busted for something?
What?
You got busted or something? That's why you're for? Okay.
I got busted at school.
All right, look, 12-step is a model that's been developed to treat addiction. It's an empiric model. That means it has been developed in the course of dealing with people who have addiction, this model sort of came about. It's sort of a complex history, but it is a model that has been shown to work. Even it wasn't as though somebody dreamt it up and then applied it. It came out of the empiric treatment of addicts.
How long has it been around? Not that long,
50,
right?
40 years or so, yeah.
40, 50?
Yeah. And
did it start off as a 12-step?
Well, it basically, there were three different sorts of disciplines working with alcoholics, and it was medical people, clergy, and social agencies, and they all, running parallel courses, came to the conclusion that these various different things helped alcoholics, and when they began sharing their ideas, they developed a 12-step model.
So if you have any kind of addiction, you could use 12-step.
12-step is extremely effective. It is extraordinarily effective, and basically involves you coming to terms with what this disease has done to you, getting out of your own head and realizing that you can't any longer use your own will or judgment to control that part of your brain that's driving the behaviors, causes you to look honestly at yourself and share that with another person, and then basically to be of service and develop some spiritual awareness.
I mean, you can meet chicks at the meetings, too.
You never do that. You never do that.
All right, but a lot of people do.
But Andrew, throw yourself into it. I mean, people are so much happier when they get
Andrew, let me ask you something. Do you feel like you're being forced into this program? I mean, you are being forced into this program, but do you feel like you have a problem?
Yeah, I feel like I do, but
okay, good. All right, go into it then.
One last question on it. Basically, the 12-step program is the ability to have self-control?
No. It's the ability to give up that whole notion. And have faith that if you give up the notion that you have to control things, that things will still turn out okay. And what you have to throw yourself into is intimate relationship with your peers.
This is very interesting to hear this, because I went through a very serious emotional problem maybe 4 years ago, where I suffered from social phobia. I mean, this is really the first time I'm talking about this.
Common.
Actually,
let me stop you and tell you that we have had a number of callers. It's a more recently identified diagnosis, and people are beginning to talk about it. And there's a large population out there who suffer from this. Very common.
Well, it's the very same thing what you just said. It's not about self-control. It's about letting it go.
Right.
You know, as soon as you let it go and you acknowledge the problem, that's why I'm even talking about it right now.
Yeah.
Is as soon as you acknowledge it and say, yes, release it, let it go, don't be in control.
Yes.
You can control it. I mean, it sounds very strange, strange kind of philosophy, but it works.
And spirituality is sort of an element that it gives people the strength and feel the safety to go ahead and do that. If you have faith and believe that there's something else sort of helping you, it helps you let go and get out of your head.
Hold on, Drew. Right. Stop doing bad radio for 1 second. What is the social phobia?
Social phobia is basically, in a nutshell, and it's very complicated, but it's the fear of being around people.
Is it like agoraphobic? I mean, you don't want to leave your house?
Yeah, it can be. And then, like when you're obsessed with washing your hands and stuff like that. I don't know what that phobia is called, but...
Well, it's obsessive-compulsive.
Obsessive-compulsive disorder.
You could leave your house as long as everyone cleared a path?
Yes.
I mean...
You would think a person in show business since 5 years old would not be afraid in front of people, but I
think that's what brought it on.
Yeah, but it has,
exactly.
Yes. It has to do with the type A personality. You can answer this probably better than I could, Dr. Drew. But type A personalities are perfectionists. And the more you try to be perfect in everything you do, the more you beat yourself up if you're not perfect.
Right. Let me read Drew has a type A whole personality, by the way.
Well, you're really
slightly different.
We have to spend 3 days together.
I'm going to kill you. And who are you, Colonel Clinton? Oh, God.
I've had enough of you. I was away last night.
All right. Go ahead.
Social phobia. The essential features of this, I'm reading from a textbook. Okay. Essential features of social phobia is a marked and persistent fear of social or performance situations in which embarrassment may occur. Exposure to the social or performance situation almost invariably provokes an immediate anxiety. The response may take the form of a situationally bound or situational predisposed panic attack. There you go.
And I went through it all those years, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
When did you feel it come on?
Endured with dread. I think I have this.
Oh, shut up, Drew. You fall asleep on stage. You're talking about panic attack.
Well, I've felt it come on ever since the beginning. Actually, no, I have to say, when I was about 13, 14 years old, when the hit records started happening and all this pressure and the reviews started coming out.
Oh, my God.
And all the negativism. There were a lot of positive reinforcement in those early days of my career. When you have a #1 hit record, that's positive reinforcement. But Donny Osmond, all that kind of stuff that I went through, particularly when the Donny and Marie show ended.
Right.
All the goody-goody, and Donny Osmond, he's so sweet and cute, he's a little girl, all that kind of stuff kind of built up to a climax, and it exploded.
Also, people don't realize, and this is why it's real hip and funny or whatever to badmouth, let's say, Hanson.
Right.
He's got a bunch of kids doing this fruitcake music, whatever.
Right.
This kid's 9 years old, the other one's 14.
He's doing
know
his
what
gig,
I mean?
man. He's doing the best thing he can do, man. That's his gig.
You can't badmouth a 9-year-old. They'll kill themselves.
That's right.
I mean, leave them alone. You know what I mean? I mean, people looked at you as Donny Osmond, the celebrity, but there was Donny Osmond, the 12-year-old.
Yeah.
I
went through it. All the criticism, the critique,
I think it is a very unnatural thing for a child to perform and to work as an adult when you're a child, and I believe that somewhere along the line you're going to feel the effects of that.
I wouldn't say it's unnatural, Adam. If you have a foundation like I had, now certainly you're going to go through the emotional problems like I went through if everybody's got you under a magnifying glass. But if you do have a foundation that you can fall back on, thank goodness, man, I had good parents.
Well,
good parents.
You were an example of a best-case scenario, and maybe Todd Bridges was an example of
or Michael Jackson.
Or Michael Jackson, whatever. The point is even under the best circumstances, and that's what you had, there's still a price to pay down the road. And most kids that perform don't have that kind of support group and that kind of family that you had growing up. But the point is you got into this this problem. You sort of faced it. You worked through it.
But listen, God bless you for bringing it up, because it helps people who suffer from this kind of stuff to know that somebody successful and whom they admire like you has experienced things that humans experience.
Let me tell you what Geraldine Ross wrote a great book called Triumph Over Fear. And she's the one that basically got me through this. She's the one that got Barbra Streisand back on stage, because Barbara suffered through this. And hopefully I'm not disclosing confidence here.
No.
But she told me, she says, I can't tell you because of client privilege or whatever that's called, who suffers from this, but you would be surprised how many people in show business suffer from this, because they're under a microscope all the time. They have to be perfect in everything they do. They have to wear the perfect thing. They have to say the perfect thing on the interviews. They have to look the right way. There's a lot of pressure.
Look at me.
Yeah,
but society does that to us, because we always have to be the right kind of person. We have to be the right husband. We have to be the right kind of lover. Everything has to be right. Everything has to be perfect. We can't fail in anything. And that's what drives us to these phobias.
Getting pretty cathartic, isn't it, Drew?
For me?
Yeah.
No, I was already aware of
I noticed you repeting the word perfect 8 times, as Donny was saying.
I was well aware of that way.
Watch. You keep going on, Donny. I'll do my Drew.
Let's go to the next one.
Keep going. Let me just do Drew.
I'm not going to indulge you in that. No way. I'm not going to give you the pleasure.
All right, I'll go do both of you. It's not going to be easy. Society says that we have
shut up, will you?
Perfect. Yes, perfect. Drew's freaking out. Look at you two peas in a pod. Oh, you guys don't know it. You don't know what it's like to be
pissed, and he's jealous.
You don't know what it's like to sleep in an alley in Tijuana in a pool of your own vomit, the two of you. Look at you. Squeaky clean. All right, that's called Triumph Over Fear.
Yeah,
so people should read that if they have that.
Great book.
Engineer Mike just finished a book called Nachos Over Beer. It's a book on some of the best sports bars to eat. All right, we'll be back. All right. It is the fabulous Loveline. Henry Rollins will be in here on Thursday. Donny Osmond is here today. Him and Marie have themselves a show.
Is that grammatically correct? Him and Marie?
Don't get
really?
Just let him go.
Okay.
I'm from North Hollywood, so I'm considered a scholar.
Marie is correct.
By the way, I'm gonna have a honorary 2-year degree bestowed upon me from Valley College coming up.
No,
I'm not.
Okay.
God, thank God. But they are going to give me a granola bar. Thank you. My fellow stoners and old divorcees who have now attended junior college. Thank you for wasting the taxpayers' money by hanging around the snack shack and chain smoking. Please take your doodled-on peachy folders back to your Pintos, go home, and take your own lives. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Where are your kids situated now, Donny? Are they out here? Are they in Utah? Or where?
We decided to stay in Utah.
They're out there.
So I do the commuting thing on the weekends.
And Marie's too?
No, Marie decided to move down.
It's 6 kids moving them.
Yeah, well, it's easier for her. They're a little younger. Her oldest is actually it's tough on them too.
Get them all in the one U-Haul.
Her oldest is 15.
Yeesh.
But my second son just started his senior year in high school, and it's a terrible time to move a child at that point.
Yeah.
He's got his friends, he's got his band, he's got his life.
Yeah,
And
he's going to
don't wanna
sue you if
destroy
you
that.
move him.
Oh yeah. So I mean, my wife and I have this saying: it's cheaper to fly back and forth than to pay for therapy later.
That's true.
Oh, yes.
And whatever else they bring upon you. It could cost.
Oh, yes, yeah. And Donnie's, your 17-year-old's in a punk band or something.
He's got a little punk band. It's called Sudden Urge.
And
guys, I gotta tell you, I showed up to his first gig. He didn't want me to show up.
This show we broadcast in Salt Lake.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
There's a big punk following in Utah. So anyway, I
we
know
that because we talked to him.
on the marquee. It said the 3 bands. He was the last band. It says Bend Over, With Strange Itch, and Sudden Urge. And I thought, what kind of bands are playing? I was afraid to go in.
You're like coming out with crabs and a shanker. Oh, man. And let me tell you, when you're the son of Donny Osmond, you got to work. I mean, you got to work hard to shake that Osmond image.
But he's great. He's a great guitar player, self-taught.
Wow.
And he's taught me a lot about how to be a dad.
Did you
just got to listen?
Did you try to dissuade him from going into the business in any way? I mean, because it looks like that's the path he's heading down.
It does look like that, and I support him.
You do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there was. I swear to God, I know I'm 34. I know you're only 6 years older than me, but could you adopt me? I'd like to move in. Forget this. I want that childhood I never had.
Well, you know what? At first I didn't. I've changed a lot in the last couple of years. At first there was a lot of resistance, a lot of lectures. Guys, lectures don't work.
Of course
Don't ever do
No.
it. Don't ever lecture your children.
No, it's just
if
a
you want
good
to teach
beating.
them, just be an example to them.
Right.
And no, we don't beat.
Oh, I don't know. That's why they won't allow me to have kids. All right, let's take a call. Now, listen, you can't get your kid to do anything that you aren't doing, pretty much. And I didn't phrase that.
Anything you have done, don't expect them not to do.
Okay. Why does that make you a genius? Just because you basically...
That's why he still gets 50-50.
You said that you sort of went to the negative of what I just said. All right.
I went to school and I was supposed to go to school, right?
Liza.
That gets me the 50-50.
All right. Liza?
Lissa?
Hello?
What's your name?
Lisa.
Lisa.
Hi.
All right, hold on one second.
No.
I just want to yell at Sherry for a second.
Uh-huh.
Listen, we got a lot of nutballs calling the show. I don't care how they say they spell their name.
Just say
Spell it the way we can read it.
so we can pronounce it.
If it's Lisa, Lisa.
Yeah, that was the girl's idea. She said I'll just put a Y in, and I didn't argue with her.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Sherry.
Digging in deeper.
All right. Lisa, what's
And
going on?
stop talking to her. Some new catalog must have come
Lisa,
out.
what is your question, Lisa?
What's up?
Okay, it's actually about hepatitis C virus.
Yeah.
I donated blood earlier this month, and I received a notification today in the mail that my blood tested positive for the hepatitis C virus antibody.
Yes, okay.
And that they did a supplemental test, and that was indeterminate, and this means that I may not be infected.
Right.
But it's kind of freaking me out, and I want to know what's going on.
Have you ever done IV drugs?
No.
You ever had a blood transfusion?
No.
Did your parents ever have any sorts of these behaviors?
No.
Any ever slept with somebody who might have been in a risk category?
No.
Well, it might be a false positive. That's a
Okay.
possibility, but you really need to get this thoroughly looked into, okay?
Uh-huh.
You might want to at least see an internist, maybe even a hepatologist. Were your liver function tests normal?
Well, they didn't. I was just like donating blood sort of in a
So they didn't tell you?
blood mobile sort of a thing.
Yeah.
It's actually a sperm
Right.
kind of thing.
You need to have liver tests done also. Even if you had been exposed to the virus, if your liver tests are normal, this may be one of the things that is not going to be a significant issue to you. But if you have hepatitis C, it's very common for it to go on to chronic liver disease, over half, maybe 60-70% of the time, and half of those get cirrhosis. So
Right.
it is a significant issue, and it can be treated now.
You said it was a hepatologist?
Liver specialist.
Right. And you know what I brought up the other day was HEPA filter, and HEPA, the liver being the body's filter. Thought there was some kind of connection there. It turns out I made that up. But I still think it worked. Mary?
It was a nice try.
It really was. You're 37.
Yes, I am.
Oh, no. Really?
What's up?
You know Mary?
Huh?
What are you guys laughing at each
No,
other?
her voice sounds. It sounds like she's doing like a Monty Python skit.
Mary, what's
I
up?
just heard you click on, and I, just heard your voice. I'm going, oh, okay, I'm on. Yeah, hi. I've listened to your show, Dr. Drew and Adam, for a while, and I really love it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Are you a real tall woman?
Huh?
Are you tall?
Yes.
How tall are you?
About 5'10".
Yeah. She must be wearing her pumps or something.
All right.
She sounds like 6'3" to me.
No.
All right, what's the deal?
No, I just have a, Donnie, I've had a biggest crush on you forever.
Well, thank you.
And I actually met you backstage after Joseph here in Salt Lake City.
Oh, cool. Oh, you're calling from Salt Lake.
Yes, I am.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you're on K-Bear 101, if anybody...
All right.
But anyway...
She's heading to the house with some duct tape right now, Johnny. You better get on the first flight out of here. Alert the patrol at the Osmond compound.
Yeah, I was just curious, why did you and Marie get together again after all this time?
We needed the money.
Now? Huh?
We needed the money. I'm kidding.
Who approached you? That is a good question. Did somebody approach you?
Actually, we've been approached to do something like this ever since the old show went off the air.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah, I could
Christmas
imagine.
specials, television commercials, the same variety kind of show, but nothing ever really felt right. And until Columbia TriStar approached us. And they said, this is the concept. We've been watching you guys. It seems right. Dick Clark is going to be involved. It just felt right. The timing felt right. 20 years felt right.
Had you ever been approached for anything just bizarre, like doing, condom ad or something like that?
Never a condom ad.
Anything weird? Anything that...
No, we were always approached with a toothpaste commercial ad.
Sure.
Well, I would expect that, but I would also expect the antithesis of that every once in a while. Like,
I was asked to play...
Larry Flint wants you to do something.
I was asked to play a pimp on
Like an anti-Osmond appearance.
an anti-Osmond
right?
appearance, yeah.
Right. You never went with that.
No, I never did the pimp role. No.
God bless you. Listen, this Osmond family's on to something. Everyone's happy. They look young. I think God's blessed them. I'm not sure, but I'm playing a hunch with that. They're certainly fertile. They make money. They love their kids.
Huh?
And you know what? They do what religious people really should do. Let me tell you something about religious people.
This is your new Island Paradise family.
I may be moving into the compound. And listen, I'm a carpenter. I swear to God.
Really?
I'm much better at that than I am at this hosting
What do you
crap. I can build anything. Finish carpentry. I can do framing. I can do foundation, drywall, whatever it is. I know you got a big spread, and I could just sort of work on it.
Okay.
I just
So
walk
you're
around
asking
with
to
my
be
bags
adopted?
on.
Is this what you're
I'd like to make my way into the Osmond
What
family.
about religious families?
Here's the thing about religious people, oftentimes, and here's the problem I find. They believe and preach a lot about, turning the other cheek and forgiveness and acceptance and so until a guy turns out to be gay, and then they want to throw him the bottom of a well. Now, the thing
I have a lot of gay friends.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The thing I like about Donnie is he's a religious guy, comes from a religious family.
Not judgmental.
His son starts a punk band, and he goes to support him. He loves him. He accepts him. It's an unconditional thing. That is so refreshing in this day and age.
Well, I think you got to be very careful about religion because sometimes it gets this notion that they try to dominate you so much that they throw guilt towards you, and I don't think religion should be a guilt factor. It's something between you and your God, your Heavenly Father. And for instance, and I shouldn't be opening up this Pandora's box, but
You hate the Jews.
But what they're putting Clinton through is totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're embarrassing him. The whole tape thing. I don't know how I'm getting into this from religion, but it's up to us to forgive. Forgive the guy. He's got an addiction. He's just a human being, and to drag him through all this dirt is just not right.
I'm with you on this, and I think a lot of religious people are the most outraged, and the one.